Now at 5, how first responders are staying safe through the wintry road conditions. Plus, an area sheriff's office is braving those conditions to deliver items to residents.
The U.S. accuses Russia of a plot to justify invading Ukraine. I'm Natalie Brand in Washington with the details.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The snowfall is over for now, but the roads remain dangerous, especially for first responders. This is KOAM News at 5. Driving your car in the snow can be pretty easy compared to driving something much bigger. Ambulances and fire trucks have to get through any road condition. When you factor in their size and shape and throw in extra weight and equipment, it means driving them in snow can be difficult. So first responders have to change how they respond to emergency calls to ensure they get there quickly and safely.
The ambulances are very top heavy, so not only with the road conditions being a factor when we get the high wind with it like we had a night or two ago, can also make it challenging as far as trying to maintain good road safety.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear from the Reddings Mill Fire Department on how the snow impacts them. For those people who don't want to risk being out on the road, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office has a solution. The Cherokee County CARES program started at the beginning of the pandemic as a way to help people get things like groceries and prescriptions. The Sheriff's Office has decided to keep that program in place, and they're reminding the community of the service while roads remain slick.
So we were able to partner with a lot of area pharmacies and grocery stores to help meet the needs of those folks who couldn't get out to, or didn't feel safe to get out to get those necessity items. And so now it's just kind of continued over the last couple of years, and with the winter storm warning that we had and the treacherous road conditions, we wanted to remind people that this offer still stands.
Sheriff Groves reminds Cherokee County residents that they should not hesitate to call and they should stay off the roads unless necessary. Doug Hetty, we got a bit of a thaw today.
Yeah, we didn't get up to freezing, but the sun, especially this time of the year, because the sun angle is starting to lift into the sky as our evening daylight hours get a little bit longer. So the sun helps us melt so much. Even though we didn't get to freezing, we still probably melted off 1.5 inches to 2 inches across the region. We look fine now. Nothing going on here. We do have a weak little wave to our north, a few clouds, but in general, we're going to have clear skies tonight. I do think with that melting process going on, and the winds start to die down a little bit later on tonight, we are going to get some patchy fog, so watch out for that. Sitting into the upper 20s, so over 10 degrees warmer than what we did see yesterday, which is always nice. And the winds have been kind of out of the west throughout the daytime hours, so a little bit of a wind chill factor out there. It makes it feel a little bit colder than what it actually is, upper teens to near 20 degrees. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 20s, teens near 10. For us tonight. Of course, we'll look into the weekend here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. While the winter weather is over here in the 4 states, boy, the Northeast is getting hit with snow and ice. More than 300,000 homes and businesses are without power. In the Deep South, cleanup is underway, especially in Memphis, where ice sent trees crashing into homes. The winter storm left cars submerged in Alabama and triggered a deadly tornado that shredded homes. The White House today said it wants to deny Russia an opportunity to use, quote, lies to justify an invasion of Ukraine. The U.S. warns of possible plans for Russia to stage a fake reason to invade. The Biden administration says that there will be severe consequences for any Russian aggression. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in China to shore up support from that key ally. Reporter Natalie Brand has more now from Capitol Hill.
A day after U.S. troops boarded a plane for Poland, Secretary of State Antony Blinken discussed with his Polish counterpart the buildup of Russian troops at Ukraine's border.
We strongly prefer that Russia choose the path of diplomacy and dialogue, but if it does not, we are fully prepared for the alternative.
The U.S. has revealed Russia is planning to stage a fake attack as a pretext to invade Ukraine. The Biden administration has not publicly provided direct evidence, though officials in Kyiv say the U.S. has shared intelligence with them. pointing to a past playbook of spreading disinformation.
They want to confuse people and to build this fake reality that doesn't exist.
Lawmakers described the classified briefing they received on Thursday as sobering and believe it will accelerate a bipartisan sanctions package in addition to the administration's warning of its own severe sanctions.
So to the Russian people, everything you've worked for all of your life in terms of savings and economic opportunity is very much at risk.
Russian President Vladimir Putin met with China's President Xi Jinping while in Beijing for the Winter Olympics. The two issued a statement criticizing external interference in the internal affairs of other states and opposing NATO expansion in Eastern Europe.
We have our own relationship with China. Our focus right now is continuing to unite with allies and partners to respond decisively if Russia further invades Ukraine.
The White House also warns that destabilizing actions in Europe would also impact China's interests. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Biden administration officials say Russian state media and proxies have pushed out a record amount of anti-American and anti-Ukrainian content online over the last few months. The opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics kicked off this morning in Beijing. With China hosting the Games, there's been controversy surrounding human rights abusers. Organizers of the opening ceremony hoped to ignore the politics and broadcast to the world their vision and theme for the Games, Together for a Shared Future. The Games themselves have already been underway for a couple of days now. Still ahead, a good sign for the economy.
A better than expected jobs report. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with the jobs added and why President Biden says there's still more work left to be done to boost the economy.
And next in Health Watch, how Freeman Health System is recognizing Go Red for Women Day. Topping today's Health Watch, this is National Go Red for Women Day. It's an annual event to raise awareness of the #1 killer of women in the U.S., heart disease. It's generally recognized by wearing red, which is what employees at Freeman Health System did today. Officials say it was a chance to spotlight the physicians and staff who save women's lives every day.
So one very important thing to know is that you can go online on our Freeman website and take an assessment to really calculate what your risk factor is for heart disease, and then share those results with your physician. That would be very helpful in your care.
February is also American Heart Month. Reporter Danya Bacchus has the story of one woman who suffered a heart condition that's rising among women.
75-year-old Dr. Elaine Camille spends her days caring for children with kidney disorders. After a work trip in 2013, she experienced chest pain and shortness of breath.
I actually had been seeing a cardiologist for a few months beforehand because I've been having some chest discomfort, and my evaluation was fine.
She was diagnosed with broken heart syndrome, which causes weakness of the heart muscle, often triggered by emotional or physical stress. While considered temporary, up to 10% of patients will have another event within 5 years.
We lost one of our sons at the very end of 2009. I'm pretty sure I had another episode back then.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of women.
The Women's Heart Alliance has launched a new awareness campaign.
We are doing this because of the rising cardiovascular death rates in women, particularly younger women under the age of 50, and particularly women of color. And this started before the pandemic, but it has been exacerbated by the pandemic.
Dr. Noelle Berry-Mers with Cedars-Sinai Medical Center says the warning signs are not just chest pain.
Women will have other types of symptoms, and this is why they get misdiagnosed: indigestion, overwhelming fatigue, shortness of breath, radiating pain into their jaw or their shoulder.
Research shows broken heart syndrome is on the rise in middle-aged and older women.
I go for regular follow-ups. I take my medications faithfully. The hard part is, I guess, psychologically, knowing that you had this problem and not being worried constantly it's going to come back.
Dr. Camille is part of a Cedars-Sinai study to help doctors better understand the condition. She hopes more women take charge of their heart health. Danya Bacchus, CBS News.
It's important to get your heart checked. A doctor can calculate a woman's risk of heart disease through tests and screenings. Pregnant women are at risk of developing severe COVID-19 illness, and that does not differ by trimester. That's according to a new study from University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center. that looked at more than 1,000 pregnant women diagnosed with COVID. Several medical groups, including the CDC, recommend pregnant women get vaccinated against COVID-19. A new study in the journal Addiction measured the impact of COVID-19 restrictions on drinking practices on almost 300,000 adult drinkers in England and Scotland. Researchers found while people were drinking about the same amount of alcohol before and after lockdowns, there was an increase in late night drinking at home and drinking alone. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, Amazon is raising prices on its Prime subscription service.
Plus, cold night for us tonight, but we are going to start to warm up by the weekend. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, of course, cold day for us today, but at least warmer than what we did see over the past couple days. And we are done with the snow. We actually got another inch of snow last night into the early morning hours with that back wave. So for the season, this puts us at 12.5 inches of snow. Average is 12, so we're right there. This is an average winter. Of course, we got 3/4 of it the past few days. And then last year we were at 19.5 inches of snow. All right, these are storm totals. So this goes all the way back to Wednesday morning, including the ice that we had, the sleet, and then the snow, the big snow that we had Thursday morning, the little snow we had last night. So really from Nevada to Joplin to Miami, all the way back toward Tulsa, 7 to 10 inches, and points east, 5 to 7 on the Kansas side, 3 to 5 in our northern counties. But the snow we had last night actually accumulated pretty quickly, but thankfully, due to the sun, we've melted off a lot of the snow for us today. So even though temperatures are below freezing due to the sun angle, you can get some pretty good melting. We were only into the upper 20s today, and I bet we melted off 2 inches. Looks good. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperatures sitting into the upper 20s to near 30 in our southern counties. We will drop off as we go through the evening and the overnight hours tonight. Kind of a westerly wind at about 5 to 10, so a little bit of a wind chill. If you are going to be outside throughout the evening hours, it feels like upper teens to lower 20s. And of course, those temperatures will continue to slide back as we go through the evening hours into the teens. I think most of us will bottom out kind of in that 6 to 10, 7 to 10 range a little bit later on tonight. So it's definitely going to be a cold night across the region. Nothing going on, clear skies. With the melting we did see today, that moisture on the ground, I do think we're going to get some patchy fog in here later on tonight, but most of the Central Plains look pretty good. There's not a whole bunch going on out to the west. We have these weak little waves which kind of drop through, but we don't have any big storm systems for the next week or so. We get to calm things down just a bit over the next few days. Look at the fog building in tonight, so watch out for that if you are going to be on the roadways. Plus, we're going to get some refreezing any of the roads that are slushy. By tomorrow, we start to warm back up above freezing, which is nice to see. So this is really going to help on the melting process. Tomorrow, 32 by noon, high temp at 38 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, we drop back again. I think we'll get some patchy fog once again, upper teens to near 20. And then by Sunday, partly sunny skies, high temps near 40. So again, we go above freezing. So most of the weekend is shaping up pretty good. Monday looks okay. We'll go into the 40s, and then we're going to bounce into the 50s by the time we head into the middle of the week. So all this snow and ice, it will be long gone here in a couple days. Cold tonight. Let's go for 10, 27 tomorrow, 36 on Saturday, 40 by Sunday. Actually, we'll adjust the days on here. We'll do that here in a minute.
Okay.
But yes, warming up.
All right. That's good to hear. Thanks, Doc. Coming up, a better than expected January jobs report. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Cody Balster served in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2011. The Carthage, Missouri native was stationed in Afghanistan and Germany, and we salute Specialist Cody Balster, a four-state hero. Of course, you can learn about lots of other heroes, more than 3,000 of them in our database. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple. You just go to our website, koamnewsnow.com.
Doug Hetty has
Topping today's Consumer Watch, prepare to pay more money if you want to keep your Amazon Prime membership. The annual subscription price is going up $20, making it $139 a year. A monthly version will cost you $2 more per month. Amazon says the increase is due to expanded services like Prime Video and same-day shipping. It also cites rising labor and transportation costs affecting all sorts of goods and industries. The White House had put out the word to expect bad news in this morning's unemployment report. What it got was the opposite, a snapshot of the economy that shows greater strength than expected, even during the height of the Omicron surge. Reporter Skylar Henry has that story.
President Biden dropped by Iron Workers Local 5 in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, where he signed an executive order aimed at strengthening union construction jobs.
There you go.
The labor market was in the spotlight after the latest unemployment report showed even with the pandemic surging, the economy gained 467,000 jobs in January, much higher than expected. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4% as more people piled into the workforce.
Our country is taking everything that COVID has to throw at us, and we've come back stronger.
That means more opportunity for job hunters.
If you are in a situation where you feel like you're stuck at work, this is a fantastic time to look.
The White House had been bracing for bad news on the labor market. Instead, President Biden called the report extraordinary, including the upward revisions for previous months.
We learned that job growth in November and December over last year was revised up by more than 700,000 jobs.
Some economists describe the current labor market as the Great Reshuffling, with many workers trading their jobs for better ones. Places like this emergency dispatch center, however, are still desperately short-handed.
Currently, there are 25 total position vacancies in the department. 21 of those are frontline dispatchers.
Even with the positive economic news, President Biden says there's still work to be done, creating higher-paying jobs and controlling inflation to ease the burden on working families. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Another positive note, according to the Labor Department, jobless claims last week fell 23,000 from the week prior. A coalition of travel industry officials is calling for the easing of some COVID-19 restrictions. Airlines for America, along with other groups, sent a letter to the White House asking the Biden administration to drop its COVID-19 testing requirements for vaccinated passengers traveling to the U.S. The industry reps say there's higher immunity and vaccination rates now, and the requirement is onerous. Southwest Airlines will sell booze again. Passengers can order alcoholic beverages starting on February 16th. That includes beer, wine, sparkling wine, and spirits. The airline said it'll honor coupons that expired in 2020 or 2021. The move comes after nearly a 2-year absence because of COVID. It also leaves American Airlines as the last major U.S. carrier not to serve alcohol in economy. Delta Airlines is testing a new perk for travelers to try and speed up the boarding process. The carrier says it's trying out a pilot project allowing flyers to check their carry-on bags for free. Unlike other airlines, Delta does not have a size limit for the personal item that travelers can carry on. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, more on the winter storm impacting much of the rest of the country. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear more about a delivery program hosted by the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Plus, a Kansas task force looks to tackle issues in the youth correction system, and students from an area school work to clear snow around their community. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Doug, Hetty, the snow is disappearing a bit, even if it didn't get above freezing today.
Yeah,
the sunshine made a difference.
The sun definitely helps out, but we are going to get some refreezing now that that sun is setting. So be careful on some of the roads, the ones that are not clear. Cold night tonight, about 8 to 10 degrees for an overnight low. Sunshine returns next several days. Weekend in general doesn't look bad, upper 30s, so we're going to do some serious melting. over the next 2 or 3 days. I love snow. It's one of my very favorite things to see, but once it's done, I want it out of here. So,
but as it starts to melt like this, it's really good for packing, for snowballs and snowmen.
It's true.
And a lot of people, I predict, are doing that today, and will be doing that at least through tomorrow.
Probably.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we'll be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.